Hi everyone, welcome to this quick tips session for learning French, improving your French, and just keep practicing every day. So quick tip number one is using Facebook, Twitter, and using them well. So one thing you can do is start following 5, 10, 15, 20 different accounts that will post, every day, that will appear on your feed, and the more you interact with them, the more they'll naturally appear on your feed as Facebook or Twitter realize that you're interested in that content. What I'm going to do is in the description you'll find 3 or 4 suggested accounts that I recommend, but feel free to choose anything else. There'll be accounts that'll give you news on like the latest music, the latest social lifestyle news. Some of these are kind of the French equivalents to Rolling Stone or Enemy. So otherwise, feel free to get creative. When I wanted to keep practicing my Portuguese, I was following some famous Brazilian newspapers and channels, and even if you're not reading the entire article, but you're just reading a few headlines, it really helps. You're reading like 5-10 headlines a day. It just keeps your brain connected. It just keeps it working in that mode where you're learning that language, and it really works. At least it really worked for me. Another thing you can do, and I'm sure you've thought about that obviously, is using TV. Watching French movies might not be enough because the amount of dialogue that you need to ingest is huge to help you improve your French. So what you need to do is actually start watching TVs. You need to start watching 1 or 2 hours of French every day, and that's when you're going to start feeling the difference. That's what really worked for me in any language that I've learned. You start with your favorite series, something you want to rewatch or something you want to start, and instead of buying the English DVD or whatever your native language is, buy the French one. Obviously make sure you have subtitles if it helps, or unless you're at a really high level. There's no secret to that. You just keep practicing every day. You watch an hour every day. It makes such a difference. Another trick that worked for me really early on is video games. Play the video games in the language that you want to learn. I've played video games in English, obviously, when I was really young. I've played video games in Italian. I've played video games in Spanish. I've played video games in French, obviously. But that is perfect because video games tend to be really long. You spend 20, 40 hours on them. Sometimes you replay them, and it works. You just do the entire game in a language. You learn the dialogues. You learn a lot of technical language about war, about civilization, about metals, about like lots of things. Like you've got lots of specialized games. If you play a little bit of everything, it's perfect. Play Sim City, play Sim Hospital, play everything you can to learn a lot of specialized language. And final but slightly stupid tips, not as good as the other ones, is change your phone settings or change your laptop settings to French. It's not going to make a huge difference, but it might help. It might help just keeping you in that mode where at least your brain keeps reconnecting to French, and that's a plus. And when you get an error message in French, that's when you get to see how good you really are, or how good you can really get. On that note, see you on the next quick tips.